Good morning. I found myself in a cave. I actually came out here with the intention of sharing, doing a live video, but there's no reception in the cave. I'm happy there's no reception, but I'm still gonna do this video. So last night I was talking to a friend and I started crying, and my own tears surprised me because I was talking about my passion for my work, and he asked me about my personal story. Why is sacred sexuality, why is sexual healing and embodiment important to you? And I talked about what happened to me when I started to experience shame around my sexuality. I talked about how much that shut me down from being able to really connect to other people. How much it shut down my connection to my own body, and I felt unsafe moving in my body. I couldn't look people in the eyes. I felt like they could feel all of my sexual energy pouring out of my eyes, and this made me really uncomfortable. And I was young, I was so young that I hadn't learned how to be with my sexual energy. I didn't know what it was yet. I knew about the birds and the bees, but I didn't know about my body, my sexuality. And so I was experiencing my sexual energy a lot earlier than I was taught about it. And because of that, I became ashamed of something that I didn't understand. And the tears came because I didn't realize how much it was still with me, this feeling of remorse, and sadness over almost losing a piece of my childhood, my freedom, my innocence, to my shame around my body. And I was like, wow, I could have had so many good years of just feeling free as a child, as a young girl in my body, if I hadn't been carrying this heavy burden of shame. And that really connected me on a deeper level to the work that I do. And it's been a few months that I've been kind of like, okay, I know I'm really passionate about this, but what is my personal connection? Like really trying to find my personal connection again. And last night that just opened up, and when I realized I was taken out of my power by my shame. Being a woman, and at that point being a girl who has strong sexual energy, felt so not okay and so dangerous to me that it didn't just shut down my sexual expression, it shut down my mind. It shut down my wanting to connect with other people. I became obsessed with something being wrong with me, and so my mind got kind of contracted, and I stopped engaging with school. I stopped engaging with people because I was so overwhelmed by this fear of being too much, being too wild, being too free, being too joyful. And being joyful stopped being cool, when you're like in middle school. Being energetic and full of life isn't cool anymore when you're like 13, 14. And this repression lasted until I really got into my yoga practice, and really my tantra yoga practice at the age of like 25, when I started learning how to use what I didn't know at that point, but it was my sexual energy, this energy that lives at the base of my spine, that if I, do certain yoga poses and breathing techniques and internal bandhas, I can like lift that energy up and actually feel it, not attached to the act of sex, not attached to somebody else, not trying to, like get anything or use it in any way other than just to feel it alive in my body. And connecting with my sexuality in that way was so incredibly healing, because I realized that it's mine and it's pure and it's innocent. And so my path has been a lot about helping both men and women recognize the beauty and the power and the innocence of their sexual energy as a way to not only reclaim their ability to be in healthy partnership and have orgasms and experience the pleasure that's their birthright, but there's a helicopter going past. Not only about pleasure, but really about reclaiming themselves, developing their relationship with themselves, where it's like, you are safe, you are okay, everything about you is good. Your body is good. Your body wants to, experience the world, and there's nothing wrong with that. The thing that I needed to learn was how to come into right relationship with my body. And once I was able to do that, it's like my boundaries all of a sudden came on board, and I knew how this energy is so precious, this sexuality, this pleasure that's just in me is so precious and so powerful that my number one, the first place I have to start is learning how to hold it in a way that's safe for myself and for other people. So in this, on Facebook, I have a lot of friends who are tantric healers and tantra coaches and sex therapists, and it's all really beautiful and really important work. And I've found that the most important place to start is discernment and healthy boundaries. And it might not seem sexy, but it is, because the amount of pleasure that you can hold, you could carry inside you on a daily basis once you learn how to have healthy boundaries with how that energy pours out from you. If it's leaking or if it's like repressed, it's not going to work for you, it's going to work against you. So holding it in a way that's just this clear channel, this pure channel of life moving through you, that is how you can be in right relationship with your sexuality. And once I learned to do that, it's like the years of my childhood that I spent repressing and holding that back have been cleared away. And I'm still working on it. I still work on it every day, learning how to just be like, feeling good and letting that goodness not harm anybody else. And letting that goodness not be like this addiction to always needing to feel good. Instead, learning how to move with the tides of my rhythms and my emotions. Being a woman is a powerful thing. And being a human is a powerful thing. And as a woman, we have the ability to create life and carry life in our bodies and birth life through us. And recognizing our potential as creators and how much our sexual energy is actually tied into our creative potential, our creator potential, gives it like a sacred meaning and gives it a more profound depth for me. Thanks for listening. I hope that helped you and inspired you. So, creating a new relationship with your body can be such an empowering way to light up your life.